One, two, three. We want to welcome everybody today to Mom and Dad Talks, where our favorite two people are Mom and Dad. Welcome back. And we got Hantie. Welcome back. We got the whole gang back, everybody. And I know everybody's been like waiting for y'all to come back. You know, they missed you all and stuff. We understand, but they took a little hiatus. You know, Mom and Dad and Hantie, you know, they got things that they do too. But however, the show is something that they all enjoy. And today we got a good one for you guys, because this is something that I think people don't really know or talk about, but they go on their mind. I think it's a great discussion. And that is, how do you feel about sending your child to a school that does not believe in the same religion that you believe in? And how would you go about doing that? What would be your rules? How would you think? Because it's a different belief system. And how do you go about it? Now, fortunately for us today, both moms and dad had this experience. They sent myself and my brother Carlin to a school that had a different belief than we had. And so, you know, can you just talk us through what was the decision, and how did you guys monitor, and how did that work out? Who wants to start first?
Well, I decided that it would be good for you all, you and your cousin, to experience mingling with other people who are not of the same religion, just to see what they are like, so that you can also compare their religion with your religion.
Mm-hmm.
And I told your dad that I thought I would put you in this Christian school.
Mm-hmm.
The school told me that they do not teach their religion to the students, but they basically teach good Bible teaching, but it's not a religion. This is what we believe. This is what we're going to teach you. They said they don't do that. So I felt like for the years that you had been in the church school that you were in, that was, you had a good foundation. So I had no fear of moving you into another school who did not have the same teaching as you were taught for 8 years.
Before we get to Hantie, because I want to hear her, Dad, how did you feel when Mom came with that proposal?
I was a little skeptical because, how do you say it?
You always are.
Well, yes, I always am, but I was a little skeptical because a lot of times bad rubs off better than good rubs off bad. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, they experience things that are not in their religion, and they tend to go that way. But it's a maturity level that you have to have, because everything turned out good, because quite frankly, I had to pray a lot. Because at the time that you were going there, I was praying that you would be strong enough and mature enough to stand up for your religion. Because I know that you came across some incidents where your religion was really tested, especially about basketball and playing sports, which I know you love sports. But sports are usually played on Friday night and Saturdays. And that was a big test. But you came through the test. You came through with flying A's.
Well, that's great. You know, you learn more about when you talk about it. Hantie, you had a son that was in the same boat. Tell me what was going through your mind.
Have a son.
Yes, you have a son.
And I say I have two sons, actually. Yes. I just talk to him more often than I do you. Because he's got his hands full.
Yes.
But he does check in on his mother. So I was trying to, as Myrna and Del were speaking, I was trying to think of the specifics that made me proud to be able to send him to a Christian school. And I still am proud today because you all have made lasting friendships, relationships. that came out of that school. And I say this is where the rubber meets the road. There's only very few that maybe are not friends today because of, I'll just go ahead and say it, social media. You've had differences on there, and but it doesn't, some are still hanging in there because you are adults now, and you know that comes with maturity and growing relationships. The one thing that came out of you all's high school years going there, excuse me, was I believe they taught you how to pray. Now, mommy and daddy teach you how to say your prayers. Now I lay me down to sleep. How long does that last? Okay. So going into high school, you could no longer say, now I lay me down to sleep. And these people taught you all how to pray. If mommy and daddy were not behind it, but you could decide, that's something I want to say, or that's not something I want to say. And I applaud the instruction that, or the examples that you got when you were going there. And thank you, Lord, for that guidance. This is where it takes a community in raising a child. And I'm very thankful of both of you all's prayers. You know how to pray emphatically and just covers more area than now I lay me down to sleep.
Yeah, and Hantie, let's stay on you for just a second, because a lot of people don't know here. I talk a lot about my brother, but I also have a sister. She does show up every now and then. And her name is Jennifer Bennett. I call her, well, I have affectionate names for her. Got very affectionate. But it's interesting that Jennifer didn't take that same route. And I'm just curious, what made you decide something different from Jennifer than with Carlin and myself? I'm just curious.
Well,
and don't say anything's going to incriminate you with Jennifer, okay? So don't.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But boys belong to mothers. Girls belong to fathers. And it's just something that the Lord made. He made a bond because I think that when Jennifer was coming, now she's 8 years younger than you all, so that made her almost like an only child.
Yes.
Okay, so when she was coming along and she did the things that she did, not that she saw me do them. I mean, she didn't see me take the cat and swing the cat around. She didn't see me do that. She did that on her own. And there were signs that she was going to be have her own mind and do some of her own things, and that I didn't say don't do that, because I always wanted my kids to be themselves.
Yes. And
then we'll turn the correction around if it needs to be turned around. And so I was noticing these things, and I said to her dad one day, and I said, you know what? Well, I guess she was finishing eighth grade, because she went to the same elementary school that you and Carlin went to. And so I said, why are we going to waste all that money? Why don't we send her to the high school? And I was very serious, because I felt like she could be a brighter light going to a public school than she could, our own denominational school. And when I said that raised the hairs on his head. He wasn't having it. He said, no. He said, I know it's 25 miles away, but I'll do the driving. Now, he worked in Chicago. So when he said that, I didn't. He said, and I know that the tuition is higher, and da 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 da. He said, I want to give her the same opportunity the same chance that her brother had. And that was his rule in the house. And I'm the one that took her to school, and I had lots of help getting her home from school because she got out of school when I was still at work, and I had to work when she was going to the school. But I'm thankful for it because I think it had a good preparation foundation for her doing what she is doing today.
And may I ask, what is Jennifer doing today?
Well, her title is senior analyst for Vanderbilt University.
Folks, did you hear that? Senior analyst for Vanderbilt.
Senior, and that's been a promotion since she's been there. And she finished her master's. You know, it gave her a drive that perhaps she would not have gotten if she had gone to a public school like I had thought. I don't know everything, but
but you know enough to know when to move the right direction.
Well, you just got to know when to listen.
Yes.
And there are several people in our congregation who sent their children to denominational school all their lives, and when they got out, they decided no longer to be in our denomination. They went to another denomination. So a lot of it depends on the child themselves. Some people can handle the independence of being in a school that's not teaching everything that their religion teaches, and some people cannot. So you have to know your child. Child old enough, strong enough, and mature enough to take on the challenges of a different religion. Some people cannot handle that challenge.
And that's word from wisdom, to know your child. See, in each one of the stories, everyone talked about you knew your child. And that, there's some doubts about your child. Like, my son's a little iffy there, but mom went ahead and boom, Hantie. I don't know about Jen and Uncle Frank, and it's nice to see that balance. How you guys defaulted to the other spouse, and even when you had doubts about the direction you wanted to do with some stuff, you know what I'm saying. So there's the wisdom and knowing when to set back that I think is also amazing. How you guys work together. That I think we need to talk about that other time. When do you know as a parent to bounce back and let the other parent? That their decision is a little bit better than mine, because that's a lot, and you had vice versa. Like Uncle Frank made the call on Jen, Mom made the call on me, Hantie made the call on Carlin, and so you can see the differences in that. So, Mom, did you want to say something real quick?
Yes, I wanted to say that I went to a church school up through the 9th grade. Okay, then 10, 11, and 12. Since there were 3 of us that were school age, my dad decided that he could not afford to send us to public school, to a church school, keep us in that church school. So he sent us, he said, you guys are going to have to go to public school now. And he laid down a law, and he was very specific with it. He says, now you're going to go to a school that they're going to have a lot of activities after sundown on Friday, and they're going to have activities on Saturday. So you know your boundaries and what you can take part of and what you cannot. And that was a very good impact on me on that instructions that he gave me, because when I went to the public school, they had gym shows Thursday and Friday night. Well, I was in gym. We didn't practice. If they were going to do a dancing step in the gym class, I told my teacher, I said, well, it's not our practice to dance. She understood that. And I said, and I'm not going to be taking part in the gym show because I do not participate on Friday night. And then I was in the choir for when they had the choir giving programs Thursday and Friday night. And I remember going to my choir teacher, director, and telling him, of course, he already knew too, when I told him that I will be singing in my school for Girls Glee Club and the choir, in the school choir. I said that when you have activities on programs on Thursday and Friday night. I can come Thursday, but I will not be able to attend Friday night due to my beliefs. He understood that. So I say all that to say this. When we explain what our belief is straight up, we will have no problem of getting of them understanding the reason why we don't do things.
Well, there's one incident that you related to me that I didn't know happened at the time. Todd, you'll have to tell about the incident of where you made the varsity team. Mm-hmm. And what did the coach tell you?
Well, there was a night that we had there, and the coach said because of my beliefs, they wanted me to play JV because I didn't play or practice on Friday because of my belief system or Saturdays. And I was okay with that, but I wasn't okay with the fact that I was going to move down to JV because I earned the right to play varsity. And I said, and he got, and I can understand why he was upset. He said, well, then you're going to sit the bench the whole game and explain it to your parents. And I don't want them mad at you. And I said, they're not going to be mad at you. I'll explain it, and I'll be the best cheerleader on the bench. Now, you got to understand, folks. My cousin Carlin, he understood the situation and understood the magnitude, and he played JV, and he did a fantastic job that night. But I just said, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to go that route, and if I have to sit the bench because of my beliefs, I'm okay with that. I made varsity. My dad came in a snowstorm. You got to understand, Michigan, snowstorms are really bad, but you still play in it. But he took me up there. He wanted to see his son on varsity. So even if I sat the bench the whole game, I knew I can explain to my dad why I sat the whole bench. But I think God rewarded me because of my faithfulness. Because, this is a very powerful team. One of the guys was All-State, and we were blown out in the first quarter. Blown out. It was like a 20-point lead after the first quarter. And the coach went through everybody. In fact, he picked the dude right next to me. I tell this story, right next to me to play. So I was like, well, it's okay, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, my assistant coach called me to come up, and I thought something was wrong. Like, I'm not expecting to play. I'm just rooting on my team. And he pulled me next to him, and he said, hey, the coach wants to put you in, but you got to do exactly what he says. Real good coach. And so I sat next to the coach, and he told me flat out, he said, you're not that great offensively. The only reason why you made this team is because you play defense. And what happened is that he said, but I want you to go out there and guard the best basketball player in the state. And I'm like, that's a real tall task for someone that first of all is not athletic or whatever you want to say, doing that. But I said, you know what? I'll take that challenge. My dad, he didn't know what was going on. And I'll never forget it. I got out there on that court and I said a quick prayer. I said, God, please give me what I need to stop this team here and be a witness. And not only did I stop the player from scoring, I scored 10 points. And in the article, I still have it to this day, my coach told me, actually in the article said, we wouldn't have won the game without Todd Hunt. Mm-hmm. Folk, remaining faithful to God, you can never go wrong with it, even when things are wrong.
That's right.
And I just want to encourage people, when you really believe in God, not because of your parents, but because you believe in God. God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And I want to thank you guys, because these are both my parents. They raised us this way. And that's why I can confidently say that I am this way because of you guys raising me. And my cousin and my sis. And I love you guys dearly. And we'll end up on that note, folks, that, know your children, understand the situation. All children are not the same. You've heard all the different reasons why they chose this and that and the other. And keep God first. If nothing else, I want to encourage people today, encourage your children to have a relationship with the Lord.
Amen.
Until next time, everybody, we'll see you next time on Mom and Dad Talks. Hope you enjoyed today. And yes, we'll see you again next week, God willing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.